Hello and welcome to another episode of the NK Active podcast. So this is a follow-on from our last episode, so the next one in line for the Founder Series. And I am not exempt to this. So Dave is joined with us today. A bit of a role reversal in that instead of me asking all the questions and having a discussion with someone, Dave's going to do all the asking and I'm going to do all the answering. So take it away, Dave.
So first question, Nick.
Yeah.
What do you love about what you do?
What do I love about what I do? It's quite simple. I love getting people back to activity and seeing what it means for them. It never gets boring. That thing of someone's coming in with a problem, it's stopping them from doing the activity they want or competing in the sport. And you can see how it can affect them mentally and physically. And then when they achieve that and then they get back to it, the look on the face, or the excitement when they come in, the thank you cards, everything, I just love it. And it never gets boring. I think I'm really fortunate that I don't view what I do as work. Coming to see patients, I love every minute. It's like a hobby. So I don't view it as work, really.
Yeah. So what's the best piece of advice you've been given about your role?
A bit of advice about my role. It was when I was training and just after graduating. It was one of those things. It was by a mentor and now a very good friend, Trevor Pryor. He sort of said this sort of anatomy, history. If you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to take a good history, ask the right questions, and you don't know your anatomy, you're not going to achieve anything. So I think they're the two biggest bits of...
That's interesting. One's very physical and physiological.
Yes.
But the questioning is very subjective, isn't it?
It is very subjective. And I think the thing we can be guilty in healthcare is thinking that there is a person attached to the end of the foot problem.
Yeah.
And we have to... It's not black and white. It's not like, right, your spleen's ruptured, you either have it removed or you don't. In our line of work, it's very much, well, you come in with the plantar fascia or a heel pain problem. There isn't one thing that works for every single person. You've got to take the individual into consideration. And unless you take a good history, you're never going to know what are people's barriers, previous experiences, expectations. And unless you get on top of those, you're not going to win.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So what inspired you to do the job that you do now?
It was complete fluke and by accident, really. So unfortunately, I wasn't too well during my A-levels. I originally wanted to be... Actually, let's go back. So originally, I always wanted to go in the military.
Yep.
In year 10, I went and spent up in Berkshire a week with the Royal Engineers. And when it comes to sport, I'm a little competitive.
Yeah.
And I remember we're doing this obstacle course and my team was losing. And I said to some of the teammates, I said, look, you step aside. I'll just do this 3 times because I want our team to win. And I'd done that. And the officers at the time come up to me and said, have you ever thought about a career in the Royal Engineers? And I said, I'd love to, but at what point do I tell you that I've got exercise-induced asthma? I said, as long as I take my medication, I'm fine. But if I don't, I get a few problems. And that was the end of the military career before it even started.
Yep.
Then I thought, right, I want to help people. So let's talk about physiotherapy, played a lot of sport. I had a lot of niggles and whatnot over times because didn't train properly and whatnot. So went off, applied to Brighton, got my conditional offer. Everything was going to plan until my A-levels come along and I was in hospital. So
that's unhelpful.
It's unhelpful because I didn't sit my chemistry A-level exam. It didn't go to plan. And so then because of that, I didn't get all the grades needed. This was before the times where we gave predicted grades because of the pandemic. Back then, it just didn't really happen. And then someone says to me, what about podiatry? And I thought, what is podiatry? I hadn't even heard of it at the time. And I got out the things called the yellow pages for anyone younger who's listening won't remember that. It was, believe it or not, back in the day, we had this directory, this book that was about that thick to begin with one day. And it was yellow and it had all the numbers of local businesses in there. So I went through and I thought, right, Podiatry had a look, okay, lower limb. Yep, I always want to specialise in an area of the body. Lower limb could be good. So then I got the yellow pages out, wrote to all of the local podiatrists in Fareham and Portsmouth area. And one person replied, a chap called Paul Harradine, or Dr. Paul Harradine now, he's completed his PhD. And I went and spent a week with him. And I thought, no, I could really get into this, really enjoyed the musculoskeletal, the injury, sports injury side of things, getting people more active. And I said to Paul, I said, where did you go to university? He said, Northampton. Then I had a look in Clearing. There was a Northampton place podiatry available. So I applied and they took me on, and the rest is history, as I say.
Wow, well, amazing.
It's kind of one of those things that I'm kind of glad it all happened, because I really enjoy what I do.
Yeah. Okay, last question.
Yeah.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 12 duck-sized horses?
I'd most probably... Fighting isn't my best skill, so speed and running is my better skill. So I'd most probably could comfortably outrun, I reckon, a horse-sized duck quite comfortably. And so I wouldn't need to fight, because I'd just
Run away horse-sized,
run away. So yeah.
Good plan.
No, there we go. Any others?
No, that's it. Thank you very much. That's great.
No. Well, thank you all for listening. Please do tune into the next Founder Series episode. See you later. Bye.